Hey folks, Machinery Pete here. I've made my way down to Murray, Nebraska. Going to be filming an auction tomorrow for the TV show. And on the right, this is Bruce Nolte, and it's Bruce's retirement auction tomorrow. And on the left, this is our auctioneer Tom Schramm with Schramm Auction. Guys, thanks for having us down.
You're welcome. We're glad to have you down.
And I understand we might get a little Minnesota weather here tomorrow, maybe?
We're hoping it comes after the bidding
After the sale, right. But Tom, we've got online bidding tomorrow on the sale?
Yes, through Bid Caller.
Right. And what's your website, Tom, for people?
Schramm Auction Incorporated, or www.schrammauction.com.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, Bruce, Tom called me a couple months ago, told me about this sale, told me how nice and clean everything was, and boy, he was spot on. You've got some really nice equipment here.
Well, it took a lot of years to put it all together. I've been farming for 50 years, and I'm coming to the point where I'm slowing down. I got a young man in the neighborhood that's going to farm it for me, and I'm just going to be there to help him whenever needed.
Right. Well, let's show folks some of your equipment here. Now, right behind us, Bruce, the 4730 sprayer. Is that an 09 model?
That's an 09 model. Got 1,450 hours on it.
Okay.
It's never left the county. I bought it from a guy from this county.
Okay.
Or the dealership. But
Tom, you've been getting quite a number of inquiries on the sprayer.
Yes, we have, and you know, from all over. And of course, it's a good, clean, low-houred sprayer for the year. And,
right.
Farmer used.
Right. Well, we got some beautiful tractors. Let's walk down the line here, guys. Now, Bruce, I got to give you bonus points because when I called and we first talked, you knew where Benson, Minnesota, my hometown, was from. Your wife Mary is from the area, right?
My wife Mary's from Wilmer, Minnesota, and we own a summer home on a lake just north of Wilmer.
In Painesville?
Painesville, Minnesota.
Lake Coronas.
Lake Coronas. So, small world.
It is a small world. Folks, if you haven't been to Lake Coronas in Painesville, you got to get up there. It's a beautiful country. All right, speaking of beautiful, Bruce, your John Deere tractor, so your 8295R, why don't you give us the scoop on it?
I bought it just 3 years ago. I bought it to pull my second planter. Okay. I expanded 4 years ago when my brother retired. I took over a bunch of his land. Needed a bigger planter, a second planter, so I needed another big tractor. So I bought this online through Auction House or Tractor House.
Yep.
And
came from Syracuse.
Yeah, and it came from Syracuse, so it's only 35 miles away. But it's been a good tractor, and it's got the, you know, the ILS front end and IVT transmission.
What year and hours on it?
It is a
2010 with 3,290 hours.
3290, Tom?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go next door. We got 8430. Tell us about this one, Bruce.
This tractor I bought in 2010 when it was just a year old. It had 400 hours on it. It was my main tractor for, probably 5 or 6 years. Okay. And it was a planter tractor, pulled my anhydrous bar, grain carts, and once in a while I'd slap a ripper on it just to, you know, loosen up the ends. So it's been a very dependable tractor too. It's up to
4,868 hours.
I can't remember all these numbers right now.
Right. What? And is it an 07?
It's an 07.
07.
I think I missed. Yeah, I did that.
So you're the second owner on it?
Yeah, second owner.
Okay. Well, now the next tractor down the line, guys, I understand, Bruce, you've been, well, I guess we got two more here. We got an 8400 coming up. Very sharp looking tractor. Did you buy this one used?
I bought this tractor used. It come out of northern Iowa.
Okay.
And I needed a second tractor, and I kind of had my eyes set on, I wanted another large horsepower. And I had a hard time finding one with low hours because most of them were, when I bought it, had 3,500 hours. At that time, it was pretty low.
Right.
But it's been a really good tractor. I've had it here for 8 years. Mainly a grain cart tractor. Pull my soil finisher in the spring.
Is this the tractor you were telling me about, Bruce, that you bought from a former John Deere dealer?
Right. It was out of Hampton, Iowa. The guy's name was Howie,
Okay.
Howie Implement, and he's a former John Deere dealer there.
And he specialized, he had a lot of low hour.
A lot of low hour, he finds them. And I was impressed with his line, and I still see it in the tractor house. He has a one-page ad.
So you walked in and saw this 8400 and knew right away she needed to come home with you?
That's the one, and I had my wife with me, and she gave me the go-ahead.
Nice.
Wrote him a check, and they delivered it.
It's nice when we get our wife's
That's
approval,
right.
isn't it?
And I hate to say, I was a happy guy.
That's good. Now, speaking of happy guys, there's going to be a happy buyer here tomorrow on this 4455. Bruce, you've been getting, I understand, just oodles of phone calls on this.
Yeah, this is probably getting as many phone calls as my other 4 tractors put together.
And this is a one owner?
This is one owner. I bought it brand new of January of 1990 from our local dealer just up the road here. And I bought it as a planter tractor. At that time I had 12-row planters, and I needed, I wanted the front wheel. That's the first mechanical front wheel drive I ever owned, and I've never bought anything since that didn't have it.
No.
But it's been a great tractor.
How many hours? 64?
It's got 22 on the tack, but there's another 35 that was in the first tack. I got it documented in my
Gotcha.
in the book for it.
Gotcha.
So we call it 67 something.
Right.
But it's been a good tractor. I've never no transmission problem, no engine problem.
You did rebuild the front end and just put a turbo
Right.
on it.
The front end I'd resealed and re-knuckled the drives a few years back. The turbo I just put on this week. It started having a drip, and apparently a seal getting weak. So I didn't want that hurting it. So I had my dealer come up and put a new turbo on just this week.
Not hiding anything. You just wanted that to be just right, didn't you, Bruce?
Yeah,
awesome.
it's been, and I think it's probably the first power shift I ever had.
Sure.
And after that, that's all I've ever bought is power shifts.
Now, you introduced us to the dealer you actually bought it new from, Rick Hoffman.
Rick Hoffman, and they owned, him and his dad owned, called Cass County Implement right here in Plattsmouth, Nebraska. Yep. And they were in business since '88, and then they sold out to a larger, which is now Agrivision, on the Iowa side of the river. But between my brother and I, we bought, for 20-some years, we bought probably a dozen combines and half a dozen tractors from him, planters, pretty much everything.
Rick's an awful nice fella, and he was telling us that you traded in a 4450 on this thing?
Yep, had 500 hours on.
Wow.
And the only reason I traded in, there's nothing wrong with that tractor, but I wanted a mechanical front wheel drive.
And you were happy once you got it?
Oh, I've been happy for 29 years.
Right.
I'm almost hate to see it go.
Right.
It's one of those tractors that, yeah, you put batteries in it every 5 or 6 years, and that's about it. Change the oil every 100 hours or so.
And Tom, you know these 4455s awful popular out there, aren't they?
Yes, and they're still all mechanical. No electronics or very few electronics. And if they go like out into ranch country, that means a lot. I mean, especially when you have a dealer a long ways away, and so the mechanical. There's still guys that really like the all mechanical tractors.
Right. Well, this will be a great opportunity tomorrow on this tractor again. It's 1990 model, Bruce?
Yes.
Very cool. And hey, we got one more down the line here. Just kind of keeps getting better. We're going back in time, but these are classic tractors. This is a 68 model 4020, Bruce?
That 4020 is a 1968. I bought it in '99, so it had some years on it.
Yep.
And I bought it on a local farm auction.
Okay.
I don't know all the background history, but I do have the original manual that's got documented the serial number. It's got different names in it that had owned it.
Sure.
And kind of the way I look at it, it must be about the 4th owner on it.
Okay.
But it's been a good tractor. Mainly it's been my auger tractor.
Sure.
And
I don't know, Bruce, you pushed a lot of snow.
I pushed a lot of snow this winter. I spent a lot of time on that, pushing snow. And
Yeah. You guys have had a lot down here, just like back home in Minnesota, haven't
it's
you?
crazy, but it's a good solid tractor. I just put new rubber on it, and seat kind of finally needed.
And Tom, you're kind of a 40/20 aficionado. It's got to make you smile to sell a tractor like this, huh?
Yeah, yeah. You know, it's 1968, and you know, there's something about a 40/20. Everybody wants one.
Right.
I mean, if you're John Deere, you usually got a 40/20 on the farm.
Right. I'm going to pan around here to the side, guys, and get the combines in the background. We've got a 9770 and a 9670. And Bruce, these are both Hilcos?
They're both Hilcos. We're in, you know, terrace country here. Everything we got is terraced.
Okay.
And going back to 79, which is 40 years ago, is when we started buying John Deere side hill combines.
What was the first? You buy it like a 6620?
We bought some 6620 Titans, and we went through 6 of those, and then we started buying the 9500 side hill combines, and then then John Deere turned over their side hill business to Hilco, and so we've been buying Hilco ever since.
You had a 95 until recently, is that right?
I did sell my last 9500 just 3 years ago.
Okay.
It was kind of just my soybean special.
Right.
That's all I did with it anymore.
Right.
But yeah, great combines. And once you run a side hill or a Hilco, it's hard to get back in something that you always got to be wondering how much is going out the backside.
Right. And Tom, I know you sold a 9500 side hill recently for big bucks, didn't you?
Yeah, in August, that combine brought 42,500.
Was that right around here?
Yeah, it was what 6 miles south.
Yeah, 5 or 6 miles.
Yeah.
So this is a good condition side hill is in demand here.
Yes, and you know the thing about it is you go out there and you look for used combines. There's a lot of them for sale, but when you're looking for a side hill or a Hilco, it really narrows the field.
Right. Okay, now back around the corner, not in our shot, but we got a couple planters, Bruce.
Yeah.
Are they 13 model 1790s?
They're both 2013 planters, 1790s, 1631 row.
Okay.
That's I bought my first 1790 when they come out in 2004.
Sure.
So I'm real comfortable with them.
Right.
And actually in this area, probably 90% of the planters are the 1790s, or now they're 1795.
Sure. And a couple beautiful Peterbilts on the sale too.
I've got a 98 and a 2004.
379s.
379s. One's got a Cummins, and the other one's got a Caterpillar.
And the 2004 is a factory day cab.
Okay. Boy, I noticed a lot of people climbing up in the cab, eyeballing that here this afternoon. Bruce, you just have nice stuff. I mean, that's apparent here. Tom told me, and it's he was spot on. So really fun to see your stuff. We'll be filming for our TV show tomorrow. Should be great fun. And Bruce, the afternoon before the sale here, how you feeling?
Relieved, almost. 24 hours from now, I'll be real relieved.
There you go. Well, again, Tom, we have online bidding tomorrow. The online portion starts at 11 a.m. Central?
Yes, yes. We've got 54 lots.
54 lots. Okay. Well, folks, some really good condition stuff. And Tom and Bruce, thanks for giving us the tour and telling us about your equipment.
Thank you.
Ram Trucks, premier vehicle of Machinery Pete TV.